Alright, you guys, I am back again with another video. Today I am reviewing Black Clover Chapter 247. So just to let you know, like I said, of course, there will be manga spoilers ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and warn you guys now. So you have been warned. Now, Black Clover, I have to say, Lord have mercy, Black Clover is getting hyped by the moment. And for the first time, I'm actually they actually starting to get to that moment of like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Things are really hitting the fan, you know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get wrong, you had the whole situation with the Golden Dawn, and I'm pretty sure there were some people that was like, oh, wow, these guys are not playing. But that wasn't good enough for me, because to me, the Golden Dawn are strong, but they've already kind of been proven they're not necessarily the strongest squad around. So then you have the Black Bulls and stuff like that. But still, nonetheless, but regardless of all that, we got to see something even more satisfying, in my opinion. We got to see the Spirit Guardians get taken down. Well, sorry, four of them. Gaia is still, he's with the Heart Queen. But yes, all four of the Spirit Guardians were taken down. And the reason why I say this gets me super hyped, because, I mean, look at their faces. I mean, the Heart Queen, Noelle, Mimosa, like, they are all terrified. And she literally thinking that everyone is going to essentially lose at this point. And she's even trying to say that we need to call back Luck and the others so that way they don't get killed or don't get murked, at least, like the Spirit Guardians did. And then we cut into one of the fights that happened after one of the Spirit Guardians taken down. And we get to meet one of the Dark Disciples. And it is a difficult name to pronounce. Sevekin. I'm just going to stick with that. Sevekin just sounds natural. And he even stays like, he's kind of sitting there. He's like, yeah, you're supposed to be one of the strongest of the Spirit Guardians. So that does kind of show like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The guy that this guy defeated is extremely powerful. So whoever the Spirit Guardian is shown to be, or at least stated to be, one of the strongest. And on top of which, unlike the Dark Disciples that Xenon brought with him, this Dark Disciple is able to use up to 50% of a devil's power. The Dark Disciples that were taken with Xenon could only use up to 40%, and it just obliterated this Dark Disciple. Now, this does kind of go into, like, question, like, exactly how powerful is Gaia, because even in the beginning of the manga, Gaia seems kind of shook a little bit. This is the same guy that managed to supposedly fought Magicula and only received just that one scar on him. So it does kind of wonder like just how much stronger is Gaia than the rest of them. But still, nonetheless, the Spirit Guardian gets defeated and he's going to kill some citizens. And this is when my boy Luck pops up on the scene. Luck is, like I said, at this point, just like everyone else, he's become considerably stronger, strong enough to the point, like I said, I mean, he's been training for 6 months. He also was one of the people that actually got possessed by the elves and stuff, so he also kind of comes into the fight with, of course, that usual elven boost from the previous arc, plus the 6 months of training on top of it, and even still, Luck is actually losing. He really can't do anything to this guy. And this Sevekin apparently has what is known as skin magic, weird name, but it literally allows him to soften or harden his body whenever he needs to. Like, he literally will change it depending on his opponent's attributes. So if you coming at him with a punch, he may soften his body so that way it just sucks in the same way he did with Luck when he first arrived on the scene. Or when he shoots lightning, he may harden his body. So it's like, goodness gracious. And Luck is not doing that well. I mean, he's already came in there and he's even stated like, yeah, I'm a stage 0. You're like a stage 1 at best. You can't win. And Luck is over there trying his damnness, and he's just not really getting anywhere. Now, we do find out that, yet again, like the other Dark Disciple, Sevekin has a weird reason for going around hurting people and being as fucked up as he is. And his reason is because he views Vanica, one of the Dark Triads, as his ideal woman, essentially, or like his ideal or his idol, as he states. And he said, there's not a woman that's as powerful or as beautiful as Vanica is. And so that's like his whole reason. And so yet again, we get kind of like another retarded reason for the Dark Disciples being the way they are, and it's just weird. So I'm not really all for it. But either way, like I said, Luck continues to try his damnedest to, of course, beat him. And like I said, they have this talk or whatnot, and Luck decides that, okay, well, if you're gonna do it for a retarded reason like that, then fine, I'll do it for my own reasons because I do what I do because I like it, and I'm going to protect the people of the Heart Kingdom because they are, you know what I'm saying, because I want to. I'm a Magic Knight. Now, the chapter ends there, but I have to just kind of go into this just a little bit. There's not really much to talk about for the chapter, but one thing that does kind of interest me is this: does this mean, depending on how well Luck does this mean that Luck is stronger than the current 6-month time skip Yuno? Because if you actually remember, I mean, Yuno fought against one of the Dark Disciples, the guy that can use Earth magic, essentially. And he struggled to beat him, and he could only use up to about 40% of a devil's power. So, it does kind of make me wonder, like, if he can only use around 40%, does that mean that he's weaker than the guy that Luck is fighting against? Or does it just simply mean that Xenon's... Like, I just don't really understand that kind of go. But if that is the case, that means that literally the who struggled and only managed to beat this guy by using the spirit of Zephyr, which allowed for him to literally use his wind magic and stuff to erode the rocks around him and cut him in half, essentially. It caused to use so much power, and he just barely won. He was clearly pretty severely damaged and stuff, while Luck is kind of doing pretty well, or at least decently, I would say, against a 50% mage, a 50% Dark Disciple. So, it does kind of question whether or not, is even one of the stronger characters anymore, because even, like I said, Luck, which, like I said, makes sense, he has the Elven boost. Even in the chapter, you see, like, he has horns on top of his head now, which is very reminiscent of when he was possessed by the elves, and got that kind of, lightning horn thing going on then as well. So it does show that he's able to tap into it just like the rest of the ones that were possessed. So it does kind of make sense that Luck would be more powerful. Plus, he's been training with the Spirit Guardians, while probably has just been doing missions and doing his own set of training. So that could be why. But I just thought it was just something interesting to bring up through the topic. Now, like I said, the chapter ends, and like I said, it was really more of just a setup and just a fight scene chapter, not so much a story building chapter. And I know I missed the last chapter; I did not review it, but it wasn't really much there either. Just kind of showing that the overall theme of it was Yami is needed for the gate to open, so Dante can let demons run wild. Which all it does is he says that he needs Yami's dark magic and William's world tree magic. I can go into a video in depth about that later if you guys are wanting. But the reason why this video is going to be a lot shorter is simply because I'm more focused. I have another video that's going to come out today with a very debatable topic, talking about whether or not Patri surpassed the third eye. So be on the lookout for that today, because that will be dropping today, hopefully. If not, like I said, definitely early tomorrow. But regardless, should be coming out today. And with that being said, you guys, like I said, just be on the lookout. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you. Peace.